Who shot you?
What's the word, your man Slap Shot You? Once again, I have here from beautiful Times Square, and I have a very special guest. Can you please let the people know who you are?
Hi guys, my name is Summer Dennis, and I'm an R&B singer from the DMV.
All right, from the DMV. What part specifically?
I live in PG County,
Ooh, Sadiddy.
Pretty Girl County.
I just was out there. It's really nice out there. A lot of a lot of Afro beats kind of vibe going on out there.
Yeah, actually, there's a lot of Black wealth in PG County. Like so much so that like I went to like a white college, and I was like, oh, I didn't know we were like minorities like that. Like totally didn't notice.
You went to the so she said she went to the white college and was like, ooh, the ghetto.
I literally was like, I was like, what is this?
That's black excellence right there. You heard that? She said the ghetto. She turned her nose up. No.
I used to drive home like after practice. I was a gymnast. I would like drive home crying. My parents would be like, "No," and I would go halfway and then go back to school because you have to go back. But
eventually,
I used to drive halfway home all the time because what in the world? But yeah, PG County.
All right. No, all right. Then, so I was out there. I was out there in November. How does that play into your music? I'm actually seeing that because a lot of music may be based on like obviously like poverty, coming from nothing, How does PG County play into your music?
So I would say I am a storyteller. A lot of artists are storytellers. And what's interesting is, I've always wanted to tell stories about women, and specifically a woman like myself, and just being somebody who's like always worked, always paid my own bills, like even had to be the breadwinner for boyfriends before. Building this project and portraying those situations is very difficult because it's not normal to people, but it's happening out here. Like women are like running whole households.
Sugar mamas?
No, seriously. Like I mean, if you really get in the conversations, because I'm a big online talker, and when I talk to other women, we are the force behind a lot of movements that are going on. Black Lives Matter was mostly women. The whole pink hat moment, that was about women standing up and saying, like, we are important. Like, we're not just your wives. We're here and we are doing things. A lot of the protesting that's going on. In D.C., we have, like, the go-go movement going on. So many powerful women running that movement, too, that don't get a lot of recognition. So I like to tell stories about women that aren't necessarily like normal to people, but they're actually normal.
That's what's regular. We just don't know about it.
Exactly. It's like a hidden culture that's not spoken about because, in a patriarchal society, we center men. So how are we going to talk about the Black women that have these stories of, I grew up with two parents, like I come from immigrants, like I'm not necessarily, I mean, my dad came from a really rough part of Kingston, but when I got here, like, they had a house. Like, I was born into a house with two parents. So it's like, I can't always sing from, like, the typical struggle place because it's just, I
wouldn't be authentic.
Exactly. Like, I'm not going to be, like, singing about, I was in these streets, I was whipping that work, cutting that crack. Like, no, like, when I got to college and I saw drugs with white people for the first time. And I was like, I, like, called my parents. I was like, there's pills and powders everywhere. Like, I was like, I'm coming home. I'm going back to church. I'm done.
So I got to get sanctified. Oh, my God.
I had no clue. Like, I grew up super sheltered. My dad is a deacon. So it's like, there's not a lot of girls that are in the public talking about our experiences,
I got you. All right, then. Speaking of which, your Love Battle last year, everything charted and everything like that. How did that feel?
It was such a moment because, like, I caught COVID. I had long COVID. So I was, like, in the bed watching that. Like,
that's like most of us.
Like, I wasn't, like, partying, doing promo stuff. Like, I was literally in the bed, like, my song is charting, and I'm in the bed. Like, it was crazy. but it was very validating. I've been singing for a long time, so that was like a dream come true just to be validated by that type of entity. So
Oh, okay, I got you. So, I mean, once that happens, does that put pressure on you? Like you have to double up on that success, or do you still write from the same place you was writing before that may happen? How do you make music after you have that type of success?
well, as far as that type of success, I was seeking that for a long time. And the thing being a woman artist, what is very difficult because music is a man's playground. So getting people to collaborate you without you, giving up your body to them and stuff, it's really hard to get people to take your work seriously, even if you pay them. Even if you pay them. So now me coming to the table, like I've charted. Like it's a good bargaining piece. It's leverage. Yeah, so I've actually been able to have a great team. Like the team that found y'all to interview me, like they're awesome.
Shout out to Franny.
Yeah, like I just have better people around me, and I cannot do it by myself. I tried to do it by myself for so long. Like, I mean, I am Jamaican, but we have a lot.
You gotta have 30 jobs.
Exactly. So I would show up with my money and be like, "Hello, it's time to work," and they're looking at me like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "Somebody who wants to pay you." Like, isn't this your job? Like, but they don't care. They don't care. Like, until you're famous, they just want to bend you over and do nothing. I'm telling you. Like.
So I mean, we hear about that side of the music business all the time. Is it as prevalent as it once was? How would you say it is? I mean, because like people that's not inside, they may think like it's an exaggeration, or I may think it's a mutual thing. How is that?
I think it is more pervasive now. I think they're more brave about it because of the way sexuality is treated in the public now. It is more acceptable to talk about sex in public spaces. So therefore, that shame in like expressing that has kind of washed off. So they're more forward with it now. Like you think it wouldn't happen because of the Me Too movement and all, but because it's so acceptable to just throw sex around, I think it happens more often. And I think a lot more women are willing because it's like,
To get to where they gotta go.
yeah, and I would also say it's less of a secret now too. I think it's just like a known thing. So when I show up and I'm like, here's your $500 for your 100 an hour for studio time, and I'm like, let's get to work. They're like, excuse me,
Like, well, I wasn't planning on actually receiving money.
or working, because we don't work with women. We just tell you what to do. So it's been a very, very long process getting to this point, but I'm actually super grateful that I had the experiences because it's given me stories to tell.
How much of a hand do you have in your own music then? Because a lot of people, they just show up to the studio and have to sing, which is even in itself, that's a talent in itself. You read the lyrics and you're able to belt out a dope tune. But how involved are you in your music from the start to the end?
So I don't like to sing stuff that I don't feel. I've done it in the past. I've collaborated, and I've made sacrifices with my musical content to get here. And then, as when I started working with Bill Moore, who is with Rhymes Enterprise, that's my company that I'm with, we started talking about stories that I wanted to tell, and we started working on my own sound. And when we were doing that, we would come to people, even with him with me, and it's just very difficult to get a male industry to focus on the story you want to tell. Like, it's just so hard because a lot of men don't have our experiences unless they are LGBTQ. A lot of them experience things that feminine people experience because of how people treat them. They other them as well. So it's like, if you're like working in that environment, you just can't always get your stories told. And Tiara Thomas was the lead songwriter on this project. We had other songwriters. There were men that were writers, but she was adamant. I would tell her stories. She'd say, "Oh, what's the word for the day?" And I would tell her that, and she was like my little soldier. Like the whole time, she was like, "We're not doing it like that. She said this. This is how she feels." She really advocated for me in that space. So it was just really cool to have somebody who's successful and talented like her bringing that out for me. And then getting into the studio when you actually have to do that precision recording, that part where you're like singing in that booth, it's very difficult. That's why you hear so much auto-tune, because people actually can't do it. And I rarely use that auto-tune. So it's like that moment is very difficult too. And it's also intentional.
Real vocals out here. Yeah, that's real vocals.
Yeah.
All right then. So you're set to drop a new video. Can you let the people know the name of the single and when they can expect it?
Yes. So at the end of April, I believe like around the 4th week or so, we haven't completely defined the date, but it may be 420.
It's a good day.
It's a great day. So the video is going to be called Ain't Nothing New. I mean, the song's going to be called Ain't Nothing New. And the video really goes with the story about the song. And this is really the only song that is really about a love interest. But it's real because it talks about, this dude really ain't shit, but like, I'm still here. Like, my friends know that he's trash, We talk about this all the time, but...
The group chat?
Yeah, but I'm still here. Ain't nothing new.
Exactly. We don't listen to the group chats around here. Love your man, ladies.
Well, no, it's about the Pick Misha moment. We've all had it. I mean... I've done it a couple of times. Like, I will talk so much crap on social media, like, make him pay, ladies. But guess what? I've done it.
You wore the pants.
I've worn them so many times that it was like all I wear now. Like.
Speaking of which, showing the boots. They got to see the boots. I don't know if they.
Can you see?
Those was fire. I thought she was mad tall until I saw the boots and I saw what was going on.
Short. I'm like 5'4".
I thought she was like 6 feet. I'm telling you.
I want to be 6 feet. I'm not there.
No.
I wish.
I got you. All right then. So I've seen you drop like a couple of singles in a row. Are we building up for a project, or are we just going to single them to death for a little bit?
No, I do have a project, and the project is called Mr. Wonderful is Dead. And I really can't wait for everybody to see the album artwork. It's kind of like a Quentin Tarantino, like old school like movie cover kind of. So the whole theme of it is Mr. Wonderful is Dead, and we were saying that over and over again as we were in the studio writing the project, as we were picking our songwriters, our producers. We kept saying, this is not a Mr. Wonderful project. Mr. Wonderful's dead. Like, that's dead that shit. And then our guy Jeff, he was like, the album title's Mr. Wonderful's Dead, because we just kept saying it. So.
And the gender wars continue.
Well, a lot of men in music, they love, think about old school Destiny's Child, Let Me Cater to You. Think about Shaka Khan, Oh Sweet Thing. Yeah. Like, when we have the ballads and the songs, they're all about our undying devotion to this man.
Pick me music.
It is hard to say pick me music because also, women, we're soft. We want to love on somebody. It's not necessarily being picked. Like, we're just loving beings, but I don't know what's going on with a lot of your demographic.
You said my demographic. Wow, what's my demographic?
I mean, you're a man, aren't you?
But how's that my demographic? I was just saying, I could be catering to the women. You don't know?
Do you check mail on your census forms?
I don't.
Sorry, I used to work at Census Bureau, so I'm like really into stats. So I don't feel like people like you. I'm always like your demo, your demographic. So I know this is not like how everybody talks.
Nah, I know. I'm just playing with you. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, it's just dork stuff.
I got you. So what are we expecting? Mr. Wonderful is Dead.
So, I am a real vocalist, but I don't want a snooze fest. Like, like people have called me, they're like, "Oh, you're queen of the mid-tempo bops," because it's always like I don't want to. I'm not out here trying to like pop lock all the time, but I don't want to like commiserate, because if I'm gonna sing a slow song that's in this theme, it's probably gonna be sad. I've written some very sad stuff before, so I want to feel good, but I wanted it to be real, because a lot of us we feel good, but we're making that happen in a very non-feel good space, so trying to find the realness in there. That's really what I wanted to bring forth here, and the topics are just real topics. Like I have another song called Dancing Alone, and one of the lyrics says, if you want to stay, that's fine. If you want to go, that's fine. I'm gonna be dancing alone. Like, the song is like saying, like, hey, I'd love to link up with you. I'd love to party with you. And if you stay, that's cool. If you're gone, that's cool too. I'll be fine.
Let a man say that.
Huh?
Let a man say that. Like, it's cool if you want to go.
I would love for a man to just be honest and say that. Like when I'm told that, I'm like, cool, I know what you're about. That's fine. If you want to stay, that's fine. I'm going to be fine. If you want to go, I'm going to be fine with just dancing alone. That's what it said.
You need to talk to your demographic then.
And, I think it's kind of the resilience that we've had to build up. A lot of women that have gone through those life experiences already. I would say for younger women, they might not be there yet. They might be hearing it from their aunties, but once you've had several relationships and you've tried the house thing, the playhouse thing, it's kind of, you just build up to this point where, whatever happens, I'm going to be all right.
Go with the flow.
Yeah, just go with the flow.
This was dope, Queen. I appreciate you. Well, let the people know how they can find you.
So, you can follow me on Instagram at It's the Summer. And you can also follow me on YouTube at It's the Summer. And then also on Twitter. Actually, I think it's the summer on all those things. So you can find me there. And my website is summerdentist.com.
It's a fact. Summer belongs to summer. You heard it here first.
I like that. It's the summer.
You feel me? You look at we did a thing. We just did a thing. Now, I appreciate you, Queen. And hopefully next time you come out to New York and you're performing, I'd like to see.
Yeah, that would be great. And I hope you actually enjoy the vocals because...
No, everything's a joint. It's definitely a bop.
I really I want people to start getting back to hearing real singers. Like, we're out here and we love our craft and we can entertain too. You don't have to auto-tune everything. You don't have to rap all the time. We can just listen to some voices too.
Some R&B.
Yeah, our R&B is coming back. It's coming back. I think people got bored with the robot stuff,
That's the fact. I appreciate you, Quinn. Shout out to my homegirl T behind the camera. See, I have a girl with me. You see, look at that.
Yes, she's beautiful. She's doing a great job. Thank you, lady.
All right, Slash out, we out.